It's finally here. The new moon pole is undeniable. The energy feels right, but that's what makes it so dangerous, because you won't even question it. Right now, you might feel an odd sense of clarity, like you suddenly get it, like the universe is finally aligning in your favor. But that's exactly where this moon gets you. This isn't just a fresh start. It's a spiritual distortion field, a time when what feels like progress could actually be leading you straight into a trap. You might mistake chaos for enlightenment. You might think you're getting downloads when, in reality, your mind is just running wild, piecing together illusions. This energy is subtle but powerful. It doesn't hit you all at once. It creeps in slowly, shifting your perception until you don't even realize you're seeing things through a warped lens. And the worst part? Most people won't even notice it's happening, because by the time they realize it, they're already caught in one of these traps. Right now, at this very moment, something is influencing you. A thought, a feeling, an impulse. You think it's yours, but what if it's not? This new moon's energy is quiet, but relentless. It doesn't push, it nudges. It doesn't shout, it whispers, guiding you in ways you don't even realize. Maybe you're feeling unusually drawn to a new idea. Maybe you suddenly feel like cutting certain people off or making a big decision out of nowhere. It feels right. It feels inspired. But is it? This is the Aquarius illusion at play. It makes you feel like you're in control, when in reality, you might just be following an unseen force pulling the strings. And here's the scariest part. The biggest trap of all is the one you least expect, because if you don't recognize it now, it could shift your spiritual path without you even noticing. Not every sign is a message from the universe. Some are just echoes of your own mind. Today, more than ever, you need to question everything. The energy of this new moon isn't just chaotic, it's tricky. It bends reality in ways that make you want to believe every synchronicity, every symbol, every sudden thought is a divine download. You see a repeating number. Was it really meant for you? You have a strange encounter. Was it a message or just coincidence? You feel an unexpected shift in energy. Are you awakening or are you being baited? Because here's the truth. Not every sign is a guide. Some are distractions. Aquarius energy is unpredictable. It doesn't just reveal truths, it distorts them. It makes you see patterns where there are none. It amplifies your desires and fears, projecting them outward so that you mistake them for external messages. Think about it. If you desperately want an answer, won't your mind find a way to give you one? If you're seeking validation, won't you interpret anything as proof you're on the right track? The universe does speak to you, but so does your ego. Learn to tell the difference. So today, before you jump to conclusions, pause. Sit with it. Question it. Does this sign actually align with your inner knowing, or does it just tell you what you want to hear? Because if you're not careful, this moon will have you chasing illusions, mistaking distractions for destiny, and by the time you realize it, you could already be miles off your true path. Tonight, your subconscious will speak, but it won't speak clearly. This new moon is a signal booster for the unseen, and tonight, that signal is going straight into your dreams. Expect vivid imagery. Expect cryptic messages. Expect strange encounters that leave you waking up feeling something but unable to put it into words. And that's because tonight's dreams aren't meant to be understood immediately. You might see familiar faces acting in unfamiliar ways. You might visit places you've never been but somehow recognize. You might wake up with an overwhelming sense that you just experienced something important but have no clue what it was. Not all messages are meant to be understood in the moment. Some are seeds waiting to grow, and this is where people go wrong. They wake up, they try to force meaning out of the dream. They overanalyze every detail. searching for an answer that simply isn't ready yet. Tonight's dreams are meant to unfold over time. They aren't a riddle to solve, they're a frequency to attune to. So don't try to crack the code immediately. Write it down. Keep track of how you felt. Let it sit, because what doesn't make sense now might suddenly click when you least expect it. And when it does, you'll realize that this new moon wasn't just sending you a message, it was preparing you for something bigger. Speak with intention today, because the universe is listening. Every word you say today carries extra weight. Every passing thought, every casual comment, every fleeting judgment. It's all being amplified by this Aquarius new moon. This isn't just about manifestation in the way you've heard 1,000 times before. It's deeper than that. It's about energetic echoes. What you put out today won't just disappear. It will return. Think about the last time you spoke without thinking. Maybe you were joking, maybe you were venting, maybe you were just careless with your words, and then days or weeks later, you found yourself living something eerily similar to what you said. Ever had that happen? That's not coincidence, that's resonance. Words don't just express reality, they create it. Be careful what you build today, especially negative self-talk. It's dangerous. You say, "I'm so unlucky," and suddenly doors start closing. You say, "I'll never figure this out," and clarity slips further away. The energy of this new moon reinforces what you declare, even if you're not serious. And it's not just about your own life. Your words affect others too. If you plant doubt in someone's mind, that doubt grows. If you fuel drama, it spreads like wildfire. If you speak out of anger or fear, that energy lingers long after the conversation ends. So today, be intentional. Speak like your words are casting spells, because in a way, they are. And the last thing you want is to summon something you weren't ready for. If you wouldn't want it to come back to you, don't put it out there in the first place. Not everything is a battle. Not everything needs a side. There's a pull today, a subtle but strong urge to label, to categorize, to decide who's right and who's wrong, to take a side, to plant your flag, to define yourself by what you're against rather than what you're for. And that's the trap. Aquarius energy is rebellious, revolutionary. It wants to break free. But here's the catch. If you're not careful, that urge for freedom turns into a need for opposition, a need for conflict. Maybe it's a debate that pulls you in. Maybe it's a disagreement that suddenly feels personal. Maybe you find yourself scrolling, getting more and more convinced that you're right and they're wrong. Dividing yourself from others doesn't make you enlightened. It makes you trapped. This energy tricks you into thinking that picking a side means you're standing in your power. But the second you fall into that mindset, you're just another pawn in the illusion of separation. It happens in spiritual spaces too, this idea that some people are awake and others are asleep, that some people get it and others never will, that if someone doesn't see things the way you do, they're beneath you. But true wisdom isn't found in choosing sides. It's found in standing in your own knowing without needing to be against anyone else. So today, step back. Don't engage in battles that drain you. Don't let the energy of division pull you in. Because once you stop thinking you have to choose a side, you realize you were never on the battlefield to begin with. Spiritual growth doesn't mean escaping life. It means engaging with it fully. There's something tricky about today's energy. It's subtle, but it's strong. A sense of detachment, a feeling that maybe, just maybe, you're beyond all of this. The chaos, the drama, the struggles of everyday life. And at first, that sounds great, right? Who wouldn't want to rise above it all? But here's the problem. That's the trap. Aquarius energy is about seeing things from a higher perspective. But sometimes that perspective turns into distance. Distance from emotions, from responsibilities, from lessons you're meant to face. And that's when the ego sneaks in. The moment you think you've graduated from life's challenges, life finds a way to remind you that you haven't. Have you ever met someone who claims they've transcended suffering? Someone who talks like they've reached a level where nothing affects them? That's not enlightenment. That's avoidance. And avoidance is the fastest way to stagnation. This energy makes it easy to believe you've outgrown certain struggles, that you're too evolved for anger, too aware for heartbreak, too wise to be triggered. But here's the thing, you're still human. The point of spiritual growth isn't to detach completely, it's to feel everything without being consumed by it. So, if you catch yourself today thinking, I'm past all this, ask yourself, or am I just avoiding what I don't want to face? Because if you're meant to learn a lesson, the universe will find a way to teach it, whether you think you need it or not. There's a reason ancient traditions place so much importance on food before spiritual practices. It's because what you consume affects what you can perceive, and today, that's more important than ever. Right now the veil is thin, the air is buzzing with energy. Your spiritual senses are sharper than usual, but if your body is weighed down, if your system is overloaded with low vibrational foods, your signal gets blocked. Processed foods, artificial ingredients, excessive salt, heavy meals, these things don't just make you feel sluggish. They clog your ability to receive clear messages. They create fog, static, disconnection. You wouldn't expect a dirty window to give you a clear view, so why expect a weighed-down body to give you clear intuition? And this isn't about guilt. It's not about restriction. It's about awareness. If you want to feel the energy shifts today, if you want to tap into the clarity that's available, you have to treat your body like the spiritual antenna that it is. So, what should you do? Keep it light. Keep it clean. High vibrational foods, fruits, vegetables, natural whole foods act like amplifiers. They sharpen your senses, clear the mental fog, and make it easier to tune into the frequencies that are all around you today. And here's the real secret. It's not just about what you eat, it's about how you eat. Mindless consumption dulls intuition. If you eat on autopilot, scrolling your phone, distracted, disconnected, you're not present, and that lack of presence affects everything. Not every strong feeling is a spiritual download. Sometimes it's just the mind looking for validation. There's a tricky energy today, a feeling of knowing, of being sure, and at first it seems like clarity, like you've unlocked some hidden truth, some deep realization that no one else can see. But be careful. Aquarius energy is fast, electric, and sharp. It stimulates the mind, heightens perception, and makes everything feel urgent. And when that happens, the ego loves to slip in unnoticed. This isn't the loud, obvious kind of ego. It's not arrogance, it's not superiority. It's subtle. It's the little voice that says, I just know I'm right. I can feel it. This is my intuition. But here's the thing, real intuition isn't loud. It doesn't rush. It doesn't demand instant action. The ego is impatient. Intuition is timeless. And that's exactly how you tell the difference. If something feels urgent today, like you need to make a decision right now, like you need to act before it's too late, stop, breathe, sit with it. If it's truly divine guidance, it will still be there tomorrow, just as steady, just as clear. But if it fades, if it starts unraveling the second you stop feeding it, then it wasn't intuition at all. And here's the most dangerous part. When the ego disguises itself as intuition, it feels so real. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.